A new avenue must be created in English studies to provide a specialization in computers and composition. While modern computers provide us with composing abilities in the mode of written text on word processor applications, they also give us the opportunity to read and compose multimodal discourse in web page, blog, and video compositions, all of which contain written text as a critical component. These capacities have changed the way written language is used, and it's up to our field to follow the text where it goes and analyze and make sense of it. Because of this, we must teach our students reading and writing in these new domains where written text is present and evolving. As educators in an age of advancing technology, it is our duty to provide students with the tools necessary to think critically of these new domains computers offer. According to Cynthia Self, young professionals should be taught to pay critical attention to technology and the issues that result from and contribute to the technology literacy link. Professor Self made this claim nearly 10 years ago, and today it grows with importance.
Educators of composition must go beyond the word processor and teach students to read and write critically within the multimodal text that computers produce for 4 reasons. First, our youth form their identities in the popular spheres as Garreau describes, through forms of knowledge and desire that appear absent from what is taught in schools.
To explain my first reason, the internet is now as old as college freshmen, and it's a fact that many of them are daily users of YouTube, blogs, social networking sites like MySpace, and computer applications that allow them to compose and read multimodal text. These applications include Photoshop, iMovie, Premiere, or PowerPoint.
Second, it's the responsibility of English studies to teach students to think critically of written text wherever it blends and evolves with other modes of discourse, such as images, video, and sound.
Because of this evolution, English studies must not fear expanding to make critical sense of and provide literacy in these domains. Not adding a computer and composition specialization may prove to be a costly mistake. Furthermore, as Craig Stroup asserts, people will not stop using print any more than they stopped talking when they became literate. But they will use it differently, will speak and write differently within the frame of electronics. To explain my second point, written text has been necessary for many advances in technology, but technology is now changing the way we use text. Teaching multimodal discourse will allow educators and their students to investigate and understand this change.
Third, teaching students to compose multimodal discourse will get them drafting and writing in new ways that demonstrate practical applications of written text and its impact on the world around them.
To explain the third reason, this will help students realize the importance of recursive writing strategies, revision, and how much writing is actually involved in planning for and creating a strong argument within a web page, iMovie, or blog. This will be especially true when students compose traditional written text essays alongside multimodal text throughout the semester.
And fourth, we must provide students with the skills necessary to become active thinkers and shape the course of new media rather than new media shaping them.
To explain the fourth reason, multimodal text, new media, whatever we call it, this is powerful discourse. It's not ethical to send our students out into the modern world of new media without the critical skills to take apart, investigate, and make sense of this world. Furthermore, students will gain new skills on computers through the domains they read and write in during the course of their college careers, making them a greater asset to potential employers.
I'm Melanie Lee, and I'm a third-year doctoral student in rhetoric and composition at Ohio University. I'm interested in visual rhetoric and theory.
My name is Russell Crooks. I'm a first-year MA student at Ohio University in the English department. I have an interest in digital media.
My name is Todd Snyder. I'm a third-year PhD here at Ohio University in rhetoric and composition, and my interests include cultural rhetorics.
I think multimodal compositions in a classroom alongside traditional written text essays, I think you were talking about that earlier, how it provides transfer into the written text essay. They can use these strategies. And it shows students that there's this really practical application of writing. This stuff has an impact on the world because it can turn into these dynamic multimodal essays that are shaping culture.
Yeah, and helps them see the concept of audience in a whole new way. It's not just they're writing an essay for the teacher. This is something they want to share with people around them. So, they really have an audience in mind when they're composing in these new mediums.
Well, it's text, but it's a kind of a different conception of text.
Yes, like
right.
written text, and this is not easy work either. It's even more work than just a written essay.
Absolutely, because we're working not just with like the two-dimensional, verbal, linear, structured essay that we would ordinarily be required to do in a course like this, but we're trying to integrate the visual, the auditory. That how does this all interconnect? How does it blend together? It's much more complicated.
Don't worry if you make more errors than usual. Once we're through this part, the rest will be going down